Well, Scott, that's definitely a remedy for last weekend. How much happier are you, not just with the result today, but with your side's performance as well?
Yeah, I'm really pleased with the result, and it might sound strange, but the performance itself, I was really disappointed at times. First half, we were okay, but Aveley got into some good areas that, from our sort of throw-ins and corners, they countered really quickly, and I didn't feel like we ran back quickly enough. It was something that we addressed at half-time. Second half, I thought we were better. Probably, I say better, we got into better areas and we probably had more shots. I thought we could have maybe got a couple more. But like, overall, if someone said to me this morning, you're going to win 3-0, I'd have snapped your hand off. It was so important that we got the win today. We've got 2 really tough games coming up, and I didn't want to go into Torquay or Borehamwood, Chesham, Hampton needing 3 points. I think today that 3 points goes a long way to obviously securing our status. There's a National League South side next year, and listen, we've got to be pleased about that.
And it was, I'll be cheeky here and say it was somewhat of the old guard that sort of did the job today, of yourself on the score sheet, Guy and Josh. Something of a collector's item as well for Guy. We don't see him pop up too often, but it was a key goal, wasn't it, to start things off?
It's really strange, actually, because Guy said to me at the end of the game, he said, let's get a photo of me, you and Josh, the old guard. He said exactly that. And the team I picked today was, if anyone kind of clocks onto it, it was a team that's basically played for the club the most. Because I'm not saying that the lads on the bench don't care. Of course they care. But I said to the lads during the week, I need you to care as much as I do in terms of giving a real good performance today, running hard, tackling, heading, scrapping, which we didn't do last week. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go back to what we know and who we know. I think there's 1,500 appearances between the starting 11 today. I did the maths yesterday, I went through the website and had a look, and luckily it's paid off. So yeah, obviously Guy's got a good header. Obviously I've chipped in with a free kick, and then Josh has smashed one in the second half, and the third goal was extremely important. We spoke about the importance of that at half time. So yeah, overall really pleasing, clean sheet as well. Hot day out there, really difficult. Our sort of press in terms of going and getting after them at times was tough because of the heat, so we had to sort of be a bit different in the way that we approached the game today. Aveley probably had a little bit too much of the ball at times, but you can't go and press in that heat all of a sudden. It's come out of nowhere, it's hot out there. So no, I'm really happy with the result, and like you say, it's a massive 3 points.
And I know you don't often like talking about your own free kicks, but where do you sort of rate this one then on your list of free kicks now?
Yeah, it was an interesting one because the wall was obviously set up correctly, but the keeper stood in the middle of the goal. And I just saw the outside post, and I thought, you know, if I can get it as close to that as possible, I didn't really have to go high with it. He's obviously a big keeper, and I've watched him a few times over the past few months, and he makes some really good saves. He's a good shot stopper. But yeah, no, it was just a case of being accurate with it, and it's obviously gone in off the post, which is nice. So yeah, the second goal was obviously important as well. So really pleased to get that and help the lads out, and it just takes that pressure off going into half time. So yeah, it's nice to chip in with a goal. I don't know how many that is for the season now, but I've probably doubled my tally for the whole time that I've been here this season. I think it's maybe 12 or 13 goals in my whole time, which isn't many, but I think it's maybe 6 this season, maybe 5, I don't know. I'm just tired.
And then just speaking on Aveley's goalkeeper, he made himself very well known to the new boy in the Slough squad today, Sean Duodu. What did you make of him? And also just tell us a little bit more about him, because there's not quite too much known about him, basically.
Yeah, it went under the radar, to be honest. I went to watch Ollie Spicer for AFC Dunstable a couple of weeks ago with Yella, and we were watching a game against Tame United, and me and Yella just turned to each other, looked at each other and said, he's a good player. And we've got a really good relationship with Dunstable. We spoke to them and said, can we sign him on a dual reg, kind of under wraps, just in case we need an extra striker. And they were obviously obliged. They let us have him. And I just thought today that it'd be a good addition to the squad. He's young, he's raw, he's quick, he's strong, and he's got an unbelievable leap on him. So he's 19, I think he's got 19 goals this season at step 4. And listen, that's my type of player. I love those young ones that have got the hunger and desire. And like you see today, he's gone and put his head in where it hurts. I was disappointed with their keeper because he stood over him. The lad's gone in with his head, and he's gone and been brave. And he stood over him. It's probably frustration, of course it is, but he's a real prospect. I think he's got all the attributes, and we wanted to give him a spin to see how he got on, and I think he can be pleased.
Just a quick word on sort of fitness and injuries and miscellaneous dealings. You made the quadruple substitution, which is not a very happy thing for me, but You made all 5. Was that just to sort of give some of those players the opportunity to get minutes? And then also, I just wanted to ask you about any more further update on both Lewis Michio and Dan Ross.
Yeah, so I said if we get a 3rd goal at half-time, let's make the changes. Hot day, save some legs, couple of lads on yellow cards. And when you can change the front 4 and bring on the front 4 that we did, I think it's exciting. So it's a nice option to have. In terms of injuries, Lewis Michio trained the other night. This is still not right. His foot's not great. Dan Bayliss won't be back. Dan Roth is now available again. So we've got a squad of maybe 17, 18. Ollie Spicer's obviously still in and around it. Jack Timberlake played last night for the suburban team here to get some minutes because he's been short on minutes. So yeah, we're in a healthy place, bar 1 or 2. But hopefully over the next 4 games we can see some minutes for some other boys. That's the plan. But we're obviously not going to throw away the last 4 games. We want to go and finish strong. But we can look to rotate it from time to time and give people opportunities. So no, overall I think it's been a really pleasing day. A lot of positives. Guy's 300th game, which is a magnificent achievement again. So he reminded me of that before we went out today. But no, he's been a great servant to the club, and it's good to have him back with us.
And just before I ask you about that tough trip up next weekend to Torquay, just a word on Aveley, and I know you're quite fond of Danny Scopes as well, their manager, who's announced that he will be leaving at the end of the season. Yeah, no, absolutely. He's, I know it's cliche and everyone says it, but he's honestly one of the nicest guys you could wish to meet. Done an incredible job with Aveley. You can obviously see last season, this league is getting tougher by the year. You can see the top 8 now, there's a 13-point gap between 8th and 9th. The big boys, the big spenders, it's tough. And you can see Aveley finished obviously in the playoffs last year, done an incredible job, surprised everyone. And now they're obviously bottom of the league, which is surprising. But when you lose your best players, which he's done, we lost half of our squad last year, so we understand it. It is difficult and it does take time. Not having consistency within a squad and being able to keep the squad together is tough. So no, I feel for him because he's done a fantastic job. I'm sure his phone will be red hot in the summer with offers. But yeah, listen, this league is relentless and it's unforgiving. You can see that at the moment, the bottom 4, or maybe bottom 6 now. I don't know how many teams are sort of like in that fight and scrap, but you can't call it at the beginning of every year. You look at the 24 teams and you think, right, who are we going to finish above? You have that panic in you before you get excited about where you're going to finish in terms of higher up the league. And like you say, next season it's going to be even more difficult. You can see the teams that are sort of propping up the bottom of the National League. You've got the teams that are coming up from the Eastern Prem, the Southern Central. So yeah, listen, let's bring it on, see how we go. And looking back to last year, Torquay, fantastic 4-3 win there last year. It's probably likely to be a somewhat different challenge this time. What are your thoughts looking forward to that game already? Yeah, I speak to Watts, their manager, probably 4 times a week. Always ringing each other, always on the phone, talking about National League South. We're both obsessed. It's as simple as that. And he's done an incredible job as well because I think they've only got 1 player there from last season. Complete rebuild. I know Torquay, the name is huge. It's a massive club in our division, but they're not one of the big spenders. I think when you look at the size of the club, you expect them to be right up there, but they're not. We speak about finances and budget and what they're spending, and he's done an amazing job. But I think sometimes it goes with the name that people expect a lot. They've had a really disappointing result today at home to Chesham, which I know they probably would have expected to win, but it just shows this league. It's ridiculous, it's relentless. You can't call it. St Albans drawn with Dorking today. I don't know some of the other results. Obviously, Chesham beating Torquay. They're tough teams to play against, and we've found that out this season. Of course, we have. But I think in terms of being here on a Saturday, I was looking at stats. I love my stats, Con. I think we've lost twice at home on a Saturday in 20 months. And listen, we've got to be proud of that. I think sometimes people hammer our away form, and rightly so. But I'd rather be good at home in front of our home fans and hopefully try and improve away next season. That's what we've got to try and do, find a way to be better. But listen, the lads have done us proud today, and I'm really pleased for them because I gave them a little bit of a rollicking last week. I was extremely disappointed, and I know they were disappointed as well. We needed a reaction for the sort of 150, 200 people that went down to Weymouth, and I think we got it today. Thank you for your time, Scott. And congratulations on today's win, and we look forward to seeing you away at Torquay next Saturday. Cheers, Con. Thank you.